Okay, the first part of your question was?
About what's the intent of this legislation?
The intent of the legislation, good, thank you. Well, remember that pendulum, right? I've been using this technique for probably 10 years. And what has happened is I feel I'm very conservative in my implementation of the technique. I don't overextend it into realms of fiction that's just beyond the realm of credibility. I pay the person a reasonable rate for a reasonable amount of hours that I could document if I had to. So it's all, it's all within the sense of reason. But what we've seen happen in the last couple of years is that into this area, into this kind of realm, have come Medicaid planners. And what these folks do, they're not lawyers, they're not regulated by the bar, they also are not self-regulating in any way, and have been abusing the system. So part of this legislation was in response to DCF's cry of foul, hey, people are going out there and doing this way outside the realm of fiction. I mean, beyond belief. You'll have $1 million, they'll do the $1 million, they'll do a contract for a 100-year-old woman, and they'll move $300,000 under that contract, which is ridiculous, okay? I mean, it's offensive. So part of that legislation was to curb that abuse. But again, it's a baby in bathwater problem. We're throwing the whole damn thing out in order to solve those abusive situations. So that was part of the intent. I don't believe that it's a credible argument that it would have that big of a budgetary effect on the overall situation. It's like squeezing, I've always said it's like squeezing a watermelon seed. The harder you squeeze it, what happens? Faster it comes out between your fingers. So even the more that they do this, there's always something else that I will be able to do to fix this problem for my clients. I just have to shift gears. So it's not that it goes away completely what I do, it's just that it limits, or would limit if it would have passed, because I'll tell you what happened to the legislation, that it would have removed one of the most easy, straightforward techniques that I could implement for the family, which allows them to have full access to that money, to pay for the caregivers that you're adding into the system, to pay for the private room for that individual if they needed it, to maintain liquidity, not putting it into some sort of risky situation. It would have removed that particular technique from my arsenal.